Good morning, students. Let us solve ICSE Semester 2 Specimen question paper. Now, coming to the section B, and this is question number 2. Explain the term tropic hormone, and you have to give one example of a tropic hormone. And this question consists of 2 marks and 2 marks with 2 portion. Now, what are tropic hormones? Hormones which stimulate other endocrine glands to produce their specific hormone are known as tropic hormone. Now, tropic hormones are hormones that have other endocrine gland as their target, and most tropic hormones are produced and secreted by the anterior pituitary. And examples are thyroxine, which is a product of endocrine gland, that is thyroid gland, and act on hypothalamus, which is another endocrine gland in the brain. Now, coming to the part 2 of question number 2, give the location of pericardial fluid and what is its function. Again, this question consists of 2 marks. Now, the location of pericardial fluid is, it is a fluid present in the pericardial cavity between the inner and outer pericardium in the heart. Now, what is pericardium? Pericardium is a 2-layered sac-like membrane that surrounds the heart, and pericardial membrane produce pericardial fluid. And the function of pericardial fluid is to reduce the friction within the pericardium by lubricating the epicardial surface and allowing the membranes to glide over each other, that is during each heartbeat. We can understand this fluid act as a lubricant for the movement of the heart, reducing friction as the heart pumps blood. Now, coming to the part 3 of question number 2, given below is a diagram of a human blood smear and label the parts numbered 1, 2 and 3, and this question consists of 3 marks. Now, this is the given diagram and you can see there are various components present in the blood plasma. This is blood plasma. As you know that part labeled 1 is red blood cell. Just look at the structure of red blood cell, which is biconcave disc-like structure. Somewhat it is a flat structure. Part 1 is red blood corpuscles. Again, you can write the scientific term erythrocytes. Coming to the label number 2, as you can see, this is white blood corpuscles. White blood corpuscles means that is the leukocytes. This is the scientific term, leukocyte. How will you identify leukocyte? Just look at this diagram. Now, this component, you can see the nucleus, clear nucleus is there, and which is the identification mark for WBC. Now, label number 3 is platelets or thrombocytes. Blood platelets are minute, oval or round structure, and it is non-nucleated, and it also present in the blood plasma. So these are the 3 labels. Label number 1, 2 and 3. 1 erythrocyte, which you can easily identify with the help of their shape, biconcave disc-like structure without the presence of nucleus, because mature RBCs, they lack nucleus, and WBC where nucleus is present, again platelets which are very minute oval structure without nucleus. Coming to the part 4 of question number 2, give the biological terms for the 3 ear ossicles. Now, ear ossicles, the middle ear consists of the tympanic membrane and the bony ossicles. They are called malleus, incus and stapes. Malleus is also known as hammer, incus is also known as anvil, stapes is also known as stirrup, and these are 3 ossicles connect the tympanic membrane or the eardrum to the inner ear and allowing the transmission of sound waves. Question number 3, mention 2 structural differences between an artery and vein. So you have to write the structural differences. Again, this question consists of 2 marks, so pick any 2 differences among 4. Artery has narrow lumen, on the other hand vein wide lumen is present. In artery, thick muscular layer is present. In vein, thin muscular layer is present. In artery, valves are absent. In veins, valves are present. Artery, they are elastic, and veins non-elastic. So pick any 2. Where is bicuspid valve located and what is its function? Now, bicuspid valve is also also known as mitral valve, and it is situated between the heart's left atrium and left ventricle. It is situated in the left side of the heart. And this bicuspid aortic valve is an aortic valve that has only 2 leaflets or 2 cusps instead of 3. And the function of bicuspid valve, it regulates the flow of blood, that is the oxygenated blood, which is collected to the left side of the heart to flow unidirectionally. Unidirectionally means only one direction, from left atrium and left ventricle, or it prevents the backflow of blood from the left ventricle into left atrium during the ventricular systole. Now, ventricular systole is where the ventricle muscles are contract, and tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve close during this phase, and during this time they produce the sound called lub. Part 3 of question number 3. Draw a neat diagram of a Malpighian capsule and label any 2 parts. Now this question consists of 3 marks. Now as you can see, this is the diagram of Malpighian capsule, and again you can see there is a glomerular tuft of capillaries where efferent arterioles is coming, and efferent arteriole is coming out, and this portion is known as Bowman's capsule, and this is glomerular filtrate. Part 4 of question number 3. Define the term excretion. What are the 2 main organic wastes present in urine? Again this question consists of 3 marks. Now excretion. Excretion is the process by which metabolic waste and other non-useful materials are eliminated from the body of an organism. Now we can say that is the process of removal of chemical waste, mainly nitrogenous waste, from the body is also known as excretion. And 2 organic waste present in urine. As you know that there are organic waste present in urine, again inorganic waste are also present in urine. So you need to write the organic waste: urea, uric acid and creatinine. Coming to the question number 4, part 1. Name the substance that initiates blood clotting, and what is the mineral element essential to form a blood clot? Question consists of 2 marks. Blood clotting or the coagulation, when a blood vessel is cut, you know that blood escapes from it, but soon clot is formed on the wound surface and the flow of blood is stopped. Now at the site of injury, platelets disintegrate. We know that platelets are also present in blood to release a chemical substance, thrombokinase, which is also known as thromboplastin. So first step, whenever there is a cut or injury in the tissue, so platelets, they disintegrate and they release a substance called thromboplastin or thrombokinase, which initiates the process of blood clotting. So we can say that platelets release thromboplastin and they start the process of blood clotting. And what is the mineral element essential to form a blood clot? So calcium is the mineral element essential to form a blood clot, and it is stimulated by the release of thromboplastin from the blood platelets. Part 2 of question number 4. Give the exact location of adrenal gland. The adrenal gland are like caps above the kidneys, that is located on top of both kidneys. So adrenal glands are also known as suprarenal glands. They are very small triangular shaped glands located on top of both kidneys. Part 3 of question number 4. Mention 3 functions of adrenaline. So adrenaline, which is also known as the emergency hormone and which is secreted through adrenal medulla, which is the center part of the adrenal gland, and this secretes the adrenaline, and this adrenaline is also known as epinephrine or noradrenaline. There are various functions of adrenaline. Adrenaline is also known as like it increase heartbeat accompanied by an increase in blood pressure. It increases blood supply to the muscles while decreasing it to the skin and visceral organs. Visceral organs are soft internal organs like lungs, heart, organs of the digestive system, excretory system and reproductive system. Now again, one more function of adrenaline is more glucose is released into the body by the liver. Part 4 of question number 4, name the contraction phase of auricles and name the two valves that open during this phase. Now the phase of cardiac cycle in which the auricles contract is called auricular systole or atrial systole. Now during this contraction of auricles, the tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve, they open and blood fills the ventricles as the atria empty. Now this is for your additional information that during this process, semilinear valve of roots of pulmonary artery and aorta, they are closed and they produce a sound called derp to prevent the backflow of blood. Question number 5, how are cytons and exons arranged in a spinal cord? Now you should know that there is a opposite arrangement of cyton and exon in a spinal cord and brain. So in spinal cord, cyton is inside forming the gray matter. Cyton or the cell bodies, they are present inside and they form the gray matter, and exon is outside forming the white matter. Now this is something extra additional information. Now there may be a question like how does the arrangement of the neuron in the spinal cord differ from that of brain? So you know that in spinal cord, cytons or cell bodies are arranged in the inner, which form the gray matter, and exons in the outer, which form the white matter. And on the other hand, in brain, cytons or cell body, they are present in the outer and they form the gray matter, and exons are present in the inner, that is they form the white matter. Second part of question number 5, we cannot distinguish colors in dim light. Explain giving suitable reasons. Now in dim light, colors cannot be distinguished because the rod cells, they are working in dim light or moonlight, but they do not detect, they do not differentiate colors because rod cells are sensitive to dim light. On the other hand, cone cells detect color, but they do not work in dim light or moonlight because cone cells in the retina are responsible for color vision, but they are only functional in bright light or daylight. Hence we can say in dim light or moonlight, we can see in dim light or moonlight but cannot distinguish colors. Part 3, given below is a diagram depicting a defect of the human eye. Answer the question that follows. Now give the scientific term for the defect, and the scientific term is myopia, and it is also known as short sightedness. Second question, mention one possible reason for the defect. So there are two reasons. Eyeball is lengthened from front to back. This is very important, from front to back, and lens is too curved or rounded. What type of lens can be used to correct the defect? And the answer is use of concave lens. As you can see, this is concave lens. Here this is concave lens, and focusing of image on the retina. This is retina. With the help of concave lens, now the image is now finally focused on the retina. Part 4 of question number 5, what are hormones? And name any two hormones secreted by pituitary gland. Chemical substances secreted by endocrine or ductless glands and poured into blood to act on target organs or cell are known as hormones. And hormones released from pituitary gland, here are the example of hormones released from anterior pituitary. First is growth hormone, which is also known as somatotropin. Second is thyroid stimulating hormone or TSH. Hormones from posterior pituitary, antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin or ADH, and oxytocin. So here you have to write only two hormones, whether you write all two hormones from anterior pituitary or posterior pituitary, or one from anterior or one from posterior. Now next is question number 6, part 1, from where the following nerve arise. Now first is optic nerve. Now this optic nerve starts start in the optic disc, which is a group of cells in retinal tissue at the back of our eye, and optic nerve travels through the optic canal and enters the skull. Second is auditory nerve, and it is the cranial nerve responsible for hearing, and it travels from the inner ear to the brain stem and out through a bone located on the side of the skull, which is called temporal bone. So auditory nerve arises from the sensory cells present in cochlea. This nerve carries sound impulses from inner ear to the brain. Question number 6, part 2. Give the full form of the following abbreviations. First is TSH, which is thyroid stimulating hormone. Second is ADH, antidiuretic hormone. Part 3. What are the three main parts of the membranous labyrinth? The membranous labyrinth or inner ear has three main parts: vestibule, semicircular canal, and the cochlea. Now what is vestibule? It is the central part of the inner ear, and it is situated medial or middle to the eardrum tympanic cavity, behind the cochlea and in front of the three semicircular canal. The vestibule is connected to the middle ear via the oval window and stapes. The second main part of the membranous labyrinth is the semicircular canal. So there are set of three semicircular canals which are arranged at right angle to each other, and the three canals are horizontal, superior and posterior semicircular canal. Horizontal, superior and posterior. Now the third part is the cochlea. It is a part of the inner ear and involved in hearing. The cochlea is spiral shaped and looks like a snail shell, and it has 2.5 turns. The middle canal of cochlea contain area possessing sensory cells, spiral organs called organ of Corti for hearing. So organ of Corti is situated inside the cochlea. That is the middle canal of the cochlea. Now the fourth part of question number 6. Complete the following table by filling in the blanks A to C. Now first, gland, pancreas is given, and we have to write the hormone secreted. It is given that hypoglycemia, that is a low blood glucose level, is the effect of over secretion of this particular hormone. So we know that pancreas secretes insulin and other hormones also, but hypoglycemia is the result of over secretion of insulin. Now the second gland is given, thyroid gland, and there are two blanks, that is the hormone secreted and effect of over secretion. So over secretion of thyroxine results into exophthalmic goiter. Now coming to the section A, a muscular wall is absent in, and the answer is capillary, as capillaries are responsible for rapid exchange of material, and it does not require muscular walls, as muscular walls will not help in rapid exchange of minerals. So the answer is capillary. Next question, the outermost layer of meninges. Now the three layers of membranes known as meninges, they protect the brain and spinal cord, and the middle layer is known as arachnoid layer, and the outermost layer is the dura mater, and the innermost layer is the pia mater. So answer is dura mater. Tear gland is also known as, and the answer is lacrimal gland, which is located above each eyeball, continuously supply tear fluid that's wiped across the surface of your eye each time you blink your eyelid. Next question, which one of the following is not a simple reflex? And the answer is eating. A reflex or a simple reflex action is an automatic and fast movement in response to a stimulus. So the answer is eating, which is not a simple reflex. Next question is loop of Henle lies in, and the answer is medulla, because in the kidneys, loop of Henle forms a hairpin like structure that dips down into the medulla. Next question is the pigment that gives color to urine, and the answer is urochrome. Urochrome is the yellow pigment, and it derived from the breakdown of heme, which is deposited in blood and then is excreted by kidney with urine, and it gives color to urine. Next question is the number of spinal nerves in humans, and the answer is 31 pairs. The spinal nerves consist of 31 symmetrical reciprocal pairs of nerves that connect the spinal cord to the periphery. The mineral element needed for the functioning of thyroid gland, and the answer is iodine, which is a micronutrient and required for thyroid hormone synthesis and function. Next question, the part of the brain concerned with memory. Now the cerebrum, answer is cerebrum, and cerebrum is the largest part of the brain and it is responsible for memory, speech, senses and emotional response. Next question is pigmented circular area seen in front of the eye, and the answer is iris, because iris it is a pigmented muscular curtain like structure near the front of the eye between the cornea and the lens, that is perforated by an opening, and the opening is called pupil. So that's all for this specimen paper. If you haven't subscribed this channel, please subscribe for more updates. Till then, happy learning. Bye bye.